Hey guys, Sonyx here. I hope you're currently having an amazing day. Today we're going to be doing a Season 23 movement guide, and it's updated for this season. So there's a lot of new movement techniques out there, and I wanted to kind of implement this in this brand new season so that way you guys can have the most up-to-date version of all the movement techniques for Apex Legends. So if you're in controller, some things you want to change. I play on default. Button Puncher and Evolved are really great for movement techniques if you don't have paddles. So try these two out. And then for crouch, you can either do hold or toggle. I play personally on toggle because it makes it easier for wall jumps, but you can switch to hold when we talk about bunny hops later. If you're in mouse and keyboard, keep your move forward to W for key 1 and then scroll forward for your key 2. For your jump, you can keep that as space for your key 1 and then scroll down for your key 2. For crouch hold, you can do V, and then if you have a side button on your mouse, you can keep that for your key 2, okay? So this will help with all the movement techniques that I'm going to go over today. Now, the most fundamental movement technique that you need to know before even getting started with learning advanced movement techniques is your speed. Your speed is what carries out every single other movement technique out there, because your velocity is what, essentially builds upon every single technique in the game. So to maximize your speed, if you have your weapon out, you're going to run slower. It does not matter. If you have a primary shotgun, or if you have literally any weapon you have in your hands, you'll run slower. But if you holster your weapon, which is triangle if you're playing on PlayStation, you're literally going to run much faster. Your velocity of your character will run much faster. So do this first, okay? Holster your weapon anytime you get the chance, because holstering your weapon is going to make you a much faster character, which means you're getting shot at less, meaning that you can live longer, and then you can pull movement techniques much quicker, okay? Once you get the hang of this down, I want you to practice slide jumping, okay? All you're going to do is you're just going to run and you're just going to slide. That's it. That's the first step. You just run and you hold your slide button. But the nice thing is that I have it on toggle, my hold on toggle, remember earlier? So all you have to do is tap slide. You don't have to hold it. You just tap your slide button. For me, it's circle. And then whatever you have it binded to, then just press that. You just tap it once. Once you do this, you learn how to do that. You're just going to go ahead and slide and then just jump. And then you're just going to slide and then just jump. Once you get the hang of this is probably one of the most essential movement techniques to transport yourself across the map much faster, because slide jumping is it'll get you to places much faster. You can dodge bullets when you turn corners, and it's a fundamental technique that you need to know before we talk about the first big movement technique. So practice slide jumping. There is a little bit of a delay. You can't, there's a delay where you can't slide jump right away as soon as you land. See that? Because you have jump fatigue mode on. So you have to wait, you have to slide jump, just wait a few seconds, you'll be good to go again. There you go. Practice this and you'll be good to go. Now, once you learn slide jumping, this is going to be essentially the main ingredient that you need to know for wall bounces, which is the biggest movement technique in Apex Legends. This is the fundamental technique that you essentially need to know if you want to master movement, okay? Now, a slide jump will chain you into a wall jump by doing these simple steps. All you need to do is first slide jump to the wall and just hit the wall. That's it. Just hit the wall. Once you hit the wall, you're going to notice your character is going to start climbing up if you have your stick forward. So if you look at my stick, I'm going forward and then I'm just going to climb that wall, okay? The difference is that you want to do here is as soon as you hit the wall, instead of climbing the wall, you're just going to press jump again. Okay, you see that? I'm going to press jump again and look what happens to my character. Okay, you see how I hit the wall, but I'm still moving forward. There's no actual, wall jump yet. The only thing that you need to do as soon as you slide jump and hit the wall, once you press jump again, like this, you see how your character jumps up? Just put your stick backwards. Or if you're playing on keyboard, just press S. And then watch what happens to your character. You slide jump. See that? That's it. So it's really, really cool because now your character kind of has a different momentum that, you literally change the momentum of your character to going backwards. You see that? So all you really need to do, to recap, slide jump, hit the wall, jump again, and put your stick backwards. That's it. Slide jump, hit the wall, stick backwards, and then jump. So slow down the video if you need to, so that way you can get a hang of that, and you can come from the side as well. You see that? You can come from the side, and that helps a lot. See how you do need to be facing the wall. Because if you come from a corner like that and you're not touching the wall, the game is not registering you to with that small climbing animation, then you're not going to be able to wall jump. You need to be able to turn your body at a certain angle and then wall jump in order to do an angular wall bounce like that. See that? Okay. And once you do this, you know, Lifeline is the biggest movement character in this game as of Season 23. You can start chaining stuff like her passive, you know, start flying out of that. But to implement this in fights, let's say that there's a guy in that corner right there. You see that? He's peeking, and you know he's going to be around that corner, right? So what you can do is you can come from a wall bounce and eliminate him. Get the jump on him. You see that? And it makes you really, I mean, it literally makes you untrackable for a little bit, and you get the first jump on the guy like this. See that? I mean, it's one of the coolest abilities because you essentially come across this corner and you look like a freaking movement demon. You know, well, not an aim demon, as you can tell there. I gotta work on the aim. You come from an angle where that guy was not gonna know how to track you at all if you have a wall bounce. So practice wall bounces in fights. You can even wall bounce. Let's say you're really low and you need to get away. Wall bounce out. You know, it's gonna be harder for them to shoot you. You know, at any time that you can pull off a wall bounce like that, you know, to get away to a corner, do it, because it makes you much more difficult of a target to hit. Now, the next movement technique I want to talk about is a fatigue wall bounce. Now, this is different from the regular wall bounce where we talked about earlier, because a regular wall bounce, like I said, requires the momentum, right? Now, fatigue wall bounce does not require any momentum at all. In fact, you don't even need to be moving for a fatigue wall bounce. So you can start in this corner. I want to teach you exactly how to do this. When you jump once, you're going to have a normal bounce, right? And you wait a few seconds, you can do it again. Remember I talked about it earlier? But now if you jump twice, look at your second jump. You see how much shorter that is? Look at the white line. You see that? Look at this. You see how your second jump is much shorter? It's not as tall as if I wait again. Now I have my regular bounce. Now if I jump twice, second jump is smaller. Oh, any jump after this first one is smaller if you just start jumping multiple times. Now this means that you're in fatigue mode. So once you get the hang of this feel of being in fatigue mode, all you need to do is find a wall like this, literally run in front of the wall, and then do the same thing as we did earlier. You're gonna put your stick backwards, and then you're just gonna keep jumping. Literally, you're gonna hit the wall, jump out of that wall, and put your stick backwards. Okay, so you're gonna get in fatigue mode. Like I said, just jump once and jump a second time, and then run across that wall, put your stick backwards, and then just hit your jump again, like that. Okay, get in fatigue mode, hit the wall, stick backwards, jump. That's it. Look at my buy and slow it down if you need to. Sonic, how do we use this in fights? Well, this guy right here. If I start from this corner, right, and I'm frying this guy, I'm beaming him. Am I gonna holster my weapon? Remember, for the speed thing, and then try to do a wall bounce right here. He's gonna look down on you, this guy, and he's just gonna be like, what is this guy doing? He's doing too much. He's doing too much. He's gonna slide jump. He's gonna try to do the regular wall bounce here. I mean, sure, there are instances where that is useful, where you could do a slide jump right there and shoot him. But if you already have an angle and you know this guy's up here, you're not gonna go all the way back here to restart to do a wall bounce, right? You know, to fight this guy. All you need to do is, if you have a wall like this, just jump. Remember, like I said, jump twice, and then watch this. See that? See that? You don't even need to, you know, slide and do all the momentum stuff. You could keep cover. That's a nice thing about fatigue bounce. You don't need to reveal your body as much. You can start chaining. Look at that. You can start chaining your fatigue bounces, and you could become literally, you know, a movement demon yourself. So probably not an aim demon, because that'll take a little more time, as you could tell. And then yeah, it's literally such a. Maybe I need to watch my aim guide again, because guys, this is not it. Okay. Oh my. And once you get the hang of that, you can start chaining wall bounces together. For example, watch this. There's a guy right there, right? Well, I could do a regular wall bounce on him. And then if I need to, I could fatigue bounce right there on that wall. So you start to become, you know, it's like Mortal Kombat. You start chaining different things together, different combos, different techniques. So that way you can maximize your capabilities when you're playing Apex, you know, in pubs or whatever. Now, the next movement technique that I want to teach you is just basic strafing. When you're fighting somebody, strafing is probably the most important thing that you need to focus on. Of course, you can wall bounce, do all that stuff if you have the time. But if you're in a 1v1 position like this, strafing is really important. Now, a lot of people, when they think about strafing, they think that they're going to go from side to side like this, right? They're going to fight this guy, they're going to go side to side like this. Sure, that, I mean, a little movement is better than no movement, better than standing still. But let me show you exactly how that looks like, because it is not really that great. All you're doing is keeping your character kind of in one position. You're not really doing much when you're strafing like this. You see that? It keeps your character kind of just stable. It kind of looks like, you know, you're just moving around from left to right, but for someone, they'll be able to track you because all they need to do is just move their crosshairs just a little bit in order for them to track you. The best way, the best movement that you can do during fights when you want to strafe is going from one direction like this, stopping, and then you can either go back like this. Okay, that's the first strafe that you could do. You could go like this, and then you go back like this. I know it's crazy, but when you're tracking somebody, it's really difficult to actually track somebody when they're going like this and then they go back, because most people are gonna do this. So it's gonna break their line of sight a little bit. Another one you could do, a little bit more advanced, is where you could go like this, and then go a long way like this. Kind of like you know, like this pattern. Look, let me draw it. Like this, like that. So I'm going like this, I'm stopping, and then turn right a little bit, and then go back to left. Or if you want to start from this angle, you can go from right, stop a little bit, turn, and then go like this. That little loop that you do right there breaks so many ankles, and it's not funny because no one's gonna expect you. They're gonna expect you to go back this way, right? No, all you're doing is doing this, going this. Instead, they're gonna think you're gonna go here. No, you go back, and then now you can beam him. Now, those are the two basic strafes, and that really helps with, you know, fighting somebody. But if you have the chance to use cover for fights, use cover. You know, this is only for when you don't have cover at all. Then you strafe. You go like this, like that. See that? Like this, like that. Practice that strafe. I promise you, put that in fights, and you're gonna win more of your 1v1s. Now, the next movement technique I want to talk about is bunny hop / bee hop. Now, like I said earlier, if your crouch is on toggle, this is fine because this is the way I like to teach. But I have paddle, so it makes it a little bit easier for me to do this, where all you're going to do is essentially you're just going to slide, and then you're going to jump, and then you're going to slide, and then you're going to jump. And if you do that fast enough, you slide, jump, slide, jump, slide, jump, slide, jump, you're going to be able to do something called the bunny hop like this, where you retain your momentum while moving around the map a little, and you're a much more difficult target to hit because you're crouch jumping. You see what I'm doing here? Okay. Now, I know this might be difficult, so if you want, you could go back to your controller, you could go back to the hold, and all you need to do is hold your crouch and then just spam jump. That's it. It's a little bit easier that way, but the difficult part, the trade-off here, is that when you do wall bounces or slide jumps, you need to hold your crouch. You can't just tap it now. So, you know, let's say you try to do it here, you try to do a slide jump, it's a little bit more difficult because you can't just tap. You see how I'm just tapping and then my character stands back up? You have to hold it now. See? So it depends on what you want to do more. If you want to do more bunny hops, keep your crouch on hold. If you want to do more, you know, wall jumps, keep your crouch on toggle. But you can ultimately do everything on both. It just depends on what you prioritize more on. Personally, for me, I got the hang of doing bunny hops on crouch toggle, and I love the way it feels on wall jumps already because I don't have to hold the button itself. So, you know, just mix around, mix and match, see exactly, you know, how it feels for you. But that's essentially a bunny hop. You retain all your momentum while crouch jumping. And it's really cool. See, if you're in PC, it's really cool because all you need to do is just press W. Remember I told you you have your crouch hold on a mouse. So if you have it on your mouse, you know, your side button on your mouse, all you need to do is hold that down right? So walk forward, hold down your side button, or C or V, whatever you want to do. If it's still binded there for Q1, all you're going to do is scroll down. So you're going to run, you're going to hold your crouch, you're going to scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. That's it. That's a bunny hop. Now the cool thing about bunny hops is if you use Octane, Octane is one of the best legends in this game for base movement, like increasing movement in general. But if you pair him up with these movement techniques we talked about today, it's going to accelerate all these. So try Octane out. He's an old reliable. You can never go wrong if you play Octane. Essentially with him, his stim, his tactical increases his movement speed, right? The cool thing about that is if you use that, you can actually heal while bunny hopping. You see that? See how I'm healing? It's really, really cool. Now the steps for this is really, really simple. I'm just gonna break it down really slowly. You're gonna first stim, step 1. Step 2, you're gonna start healing via your wheel. Step 3, you're gonna slide jump, which you already know how to do. Remember, we practiced that earlier. And step 4 is you're just gonna bunny hop. You're gonna bunny hop. So okay, so you chain everything together, and it's gonna look like this. Slow down the video if you need to, because it sounds simple, and it is, but you have to make sure you get the timing right. Okay, do you see how I bunny hopped into this room? As soon as I'm here, bam, fry this guy. As soon as I'm also healed and in cover and ready to fry this guy if I need to. Practice this movement technique. I guarantee you, bunny hopping, especially if you're playing on Octane, will feel like a whole world of difference. You feel like you're gonna play a whole different game, like creative mode on Minecraft, basically. Now another great character to bunny hop with is Horizon, because she has the ability to just air strafe. You see how like your turns feel so smooth like butter? Because her passive is air strafing. So she essentially is like tap strafing and controller. See how tight these turns are? So try her when you you want to practice bunny hopping, because her bunny hops are so much more smoother and it feels so good when you look at that, see? So try Horizon out if you want to practice, and Octane, you can't go wrong, obviously, when you try to bunny hop. Now the next movement technique I want to talk about is a quick slide / fade slide. Now before I even talk about this, I want to just show you an example so that way you can kind of get the hang of what this looks like. Now that is a quick slide / fade slide, and essentially this is one of the fastest movement techniques that you can capitalize on to get the upper advantage when you're fighting your 1v1s. Now when you have your weapon out, you can't just slide from a standstill position like this. You see I'm trying to slide, but it requires me to walk a little bit more in order for me to slide. I can't just stand right here and start sliding. I can't slide after one step. See, if I just stand right here, trying to slide is impossible. If I just try to walk one step, it's not going to work. You have to walk at least 2 to 3 steps. So watch. 1, 2, 3, slide. 1, 2, 3. See, it's even harder. You got 1, 2, 3, slide. 1, 2, 3, slide. See? It only works if you walk a few steps forward. Now, if you have your weapon holstered, you see that? See how instantaneous that is? Look at this. I'm basically taking only 1 step forward in order for me to slide. I don't have to do the whole, okay, I gotta walk all the way over here and then slide. See the difference? It's much more quick to slide if you have your weapon holstered. So what I'm doing with a quick slide is, let's say I'm shooting a guy, I holster my weapon, I can quickly slide out, get my weapon back, and then shoot him again. You can use this for a lot of different things. Let's say you're shooting and you need to escape, get your weapon out, start leaving. Okay? But like I was showing you of the way I was doing it, as I fried, I holstered my weapon, I slide jump, and then I got my weapon out and I shot him again. I'll teach you how to do this kind of a step-by-step format like we did with the bunny hop, so it's a little bit easier to understand. I shoot my weapon, I holster my gun, I get my weapon out again while getting ready to slide jump. That's it. So shoot, holster your gun, get your weapon back out, and slide jump right as soon as you press your weapon, to unholster it. That's it. Because if you're in a standstill position like this, and you have your weapon holstered. When you get your weapon back, there's going to be a split second where the game thinks you're still having no weapon in your hand. That's why when you holster your weapon back to your hand, there's a split window where you could slide jump. You see that? Where you're basically getting your weapon out at the same time as you slide jumping. So, but the steps need to be in place. You need to get your weapon out first and then slide jump at the same time, right after it, okay? So standing still, holster, slide jump, and that's it. Practice doing this, and you can start moving across the map much faster. Let's say you're fighting this guy. He's not gonna expect you to pull up like that. Now, Sonic, how exactly do we implement this in fights? Well, easy. You could use this to traverse different environments, so that way you can prevent getting shot at. Let's say you're shooting this guy. Okay, slide jump. You shoot this guy. Okay, quick slide. See that? This guy right here. It's right here. You can get this angle now. Let me show you how much more difficult that is if I didn't quick slide. I shoot this guy. See? Dead slide. Shoot this guy. I'm not able to slide out of that stance. Because I need to walk, remember, like I said, if I have my weapon out, I need to walk a few steps. Now I'm exposing my body. See that? I can't slide. However, if I shoot him, and then I holster, I can literally slide to a new angle and move my body forward. So that's essentially what a quick slide slash fade slide does. It essentially maximizes your opportunity to move fast when you have your weapon holstered. Now, the next movement technique I want to talk about is edge sliding. Edge sliding isn't too difficult because all you really need to do is find an edge like this. And all you're going to do is just slide jump and hit the edge. And you see you're going to gain a momentum that carries you forward a little bit. See that? So just find an edge and you're just gonna slide off of it and you're good to go. See that? That's what an edge slide is, and you get a huge boost of speed when you do that. You can jump off, you can jump into an object like this to get an edge slide, or you can, you can be on the object itself like this and then slide off of it like that. So both work, and this kind of is a precursor or like the baby version of the next movement technique I want to talk about. But practice doing this in, when you run across the map, because this helps you gain a little bit of speed. And if imagine you're going into a fight and you are, that little bit of speed can help. See how I'm already sliding? Versus if you didn't do an edge slide and you just jump into the fight. You see how you're a little bit slower? So edge sliding is great, and it's a great alternative if you can't do this movement technique that I'm going to talk about. But you're going to learn how to do this movement technique because I'm going to break it down for you next. So the next movement technique I'm going to talk about is super gliding. Now, super gliding, this is one of the most well-known techniques of Apex Legends, but a lot of people aren't able to do it because, first of all, this is very time frame dependent. So super glides depend on the timing. So a super glide is going to look like this. So I wanted to show you what that looks like first, and that's different because you see how far I made it? I made it like all the way over here. The last laugh. I like that. Okay, so that's what the super glide got me there. Now an edge slide, let me show you exactly how far that can get me. Hold on. Like right there. I mean, it even stopped right there, so it's not going to get me that far. See? It's not really, an edge slide doesn't get me that far. But a super glide got me super far. See that? Like, see how I'm basically like flying across the air when I do a super glide? In order for you to do this, you need to first understand that there's a timing thing here. When you climb an object, there's going to be a little shake at the end. You see how your screen kind of shakes? It is a little wobbly animation. Slow down the video if you need to, but you'll see how there's a little bit of a shake when you are climbing an object, as at the very end of the climb. Once you see that, little shake, or just kind of like at the end of your climb, you can kind of guess, you can kind of, for the feel, you can kind of feel it. I want you to just jump, just jump off the object. That's the first step, because once you start doing too much, it's going to be difficult. Just jump off the object. Practice that first, okay? Literally just jump off the object, and you're going to feel like, okay, I'm not doing the super glide, but this is the precursor. See how you're kind of launching yourself? You're getting ready for the super glide. Your character is getting ready, okay? But you have to get the feel of, as soon as you get that little shake, that's when you jump, okay? Now practice sliding now. Don't jump yet. Practice sliding as soon as you get into that, you know, position where you get that little shake. Now just slide. Okay, I want you to practice two different things. Don't pair them up together yet. Practice two different things right now. Once you get the hang of this, I want you to just press both of them together. Okay, you're gonna notice it's gonna be difficult at first because it's either your character's gonna jump or it's going to slide. See, I'm jumping there, and then here I'm sliding more. Okay, so what you can do is you just keep practicing that, and eventually you're gonna understand the timing where you're gonna do both at the same time, and that's when your character launches like that. Because now you're crouching, you're sliding and you're jumping at the same time, which is essentially what a Superglide is. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not 100% accurate in Superglide. In fact, I'm not really accurate at all. It takes a while for me to, you know, to get the feel of it, especially when I'm rusty and haven't played in a while. But the more that you practice, the more that you'll be able to learn how to launch yourself forward like that, and it's gonna feel great when you're playing games. Okay, you see that? You pair that up with other movement techniques like a bunny hop. Oh, you keep all that momentum, and you basically feel like it's so fluid. It's so awesome. Now you can use that for fighting somebody. You can use that for retreating. Let's say you need to get away from a gunfight, and you basically just need to run. You know, there you go. Prepare that up like earlier, like we said. Now, if you're in default, you're gonna have to press circle and X at the same time, which basically isn't too difficult because you could just put your thumb on both buttons. If you're in evolve, that's not too bad either, because your L1 is your jump, and then your crouch is your stick on your right stick. So try out these different combinations, see what works the best for you, because everyone has, you know, different grips, a different finger, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to tell you exactly what's the best for you. If you are on keyboard, all you need to do is hold V down with your spacebar as soon as you get that climb, and then you're going to be able to super glide off that. Okay. The timing of this is a little bit tight, because essentially what you're doing is you're just basically jumping right before your crouch, but it's really hard to do both. It's like a smallest millisecond difference, so it's hard to kind of differentiate what comes first. So you just have to practice pressing both at the same time, and eventually your brain is going to be able to just do it, you know, without thinking about it, because the timing is going to be, you know, kind of like muscle memory now. If you want, there are specific guides to maximize like 100% super glide, not with configs, but for, you know, changing the actuation points on your keyboard, to seeing like whether, you know, like making sure one key gets pressed a little bit earlier than another, because you need to press jump before your crouch, technically like a few milliseconds, you know. And if you want to do that to really maximize your super glide, so there's guides out there. Just search up Superglide trainer, and you'll see different videos out there, different resources. But essentially that's too advanced, and you know, for the beginner, just try this out, see if this works for you, and just go from there. Now the cool thing with super glides is that you could actually do sideways super glides like this. You see that? How cool that is? I'm basically like top strafing on controller. All you need to do is put a directional input as soon as you do that slide jump at the same time. When you slide and jump, you're just going to put a directional input, either left or right, or whichever direction you want to go, and your character is going to move in that direction as a super glide. See that? It literally, it's full directional. So if you want to go left, you go left. If you want to go right, you go right. It's just put the joystick at the direction that you want to go, and you'll go flying in that direction. Now, cool little tip, when you're playing Lifeline in this brand new season, when you super glide, you retain all the momentum you have when you super glide, and if you use your passive as soon as you super glide, you keep all that flight momentum, all the velocity stays the same, and you basically go flying mid-air. Let me show you. See how fast I go? It's actually insane. So practice, like I said, practice Lifeline, practice Octane. These movement characters right now in this game is groundbreaking. So try these characters out. Lifeline is a great one to start off with though, because she has already healing capabilities. So if you're a beginner, try Lifeline out, and then I guarantee the whole game's gonna change once you start learning these movement techniques. Now the next movement technique I'm going to talk about is a zipline super jump. Now zipline super jump is different than a regular zipline jump, because if you do a regular zipline jump, it's just going to be interact jump. Your interact jump. Let's say you want to fight this guy, right? Well, you could do a simple, like, you're shooting him, interact jump. I mean, what's the difference between just doing a regular jump? Basically nothing. You get the same exact height. See that? The difference between a zipline super jump is this. You're shooting this guy now. This is what, I mean, come on, guys. Is that even fair? Is that even legal? Look at this. Come on, look at that. Regular jump, right? Zipline super jump. Oh my gosh, guys. Now, in order for you to do this, it is not too difficult if you follow these right steps, okay? So please pay attention to this. When you interact jump, you want to be doing it in a speed where you're not even feeling like you're on the zip. You see that? You're basically going to go so fast where it doesn't even look like you're touching the zip. It looks like you're just basically jumping, but you are technically interacting and jumping. Interact jumping. Get that fast enough, you just add another jump. It's just 2 jumps now. Interact, jump, jump. That's it. Now, the way I personally do this is that I press my interact with the tip of my thumb, and my jump is gonna be with a thumb joint. This is all on default, by the way, if you're playing controller. And without failure, it's 100% accuracy. Okay? I'm pressing the tip of my thumb to interact, and I'm jumping twice with my thumb joint, since my thumb joint is already resting on top of my jump button when I'm pressing my interact. If you want, you can switch. You can use your thumb. You could press the tip of your thumb on your interact, and then you can switch it down. It might take a little bit longer. It depends on you, because I don't, everyone has different body anatomy, so try that way if that's easier. Try my method though, because this is much faster, and it makes it so much easier for me to actually, super jump, and you get height, like insane height. It's not even fair, guys. Like, the height you get from this is, it's insane. If you're playing like Pathfinder, you always have the ability to throw zipline super jumps like that. See that? And you can get on top of buildings with that. So you don't even need to use your tactical, and then bam, you have your tactical ready. Like I said earlier, you want to have your scroll down on your jump, and all you're gonna do is you're gonna interact, press E, and then scroll down. It's like the easiest movement technique that you can do on PC. It's not even funny. And the fact that it's so easy, but it's so effective, this is like something that you have to do if you're on PC, because guys, it's like not even, it is not even fair. You see that? It's like, it's actually insane how easy this technique is once you get the hang of it. Okay? So E and then scroll down, literally interact, scroll down, and you, without fail, it's gonna feel like you're at a freaking bouncy house. Okay? But you have to make sure you're hitting the ground, because if you try doing this while like that, while you're like mid-air and you try, it's not gonna work. Make sure you hit the ground. As soon as you hit the ground, you can zipline super jump again, and it literally feels like a bouncy house. Look at that. This is so cool. Like, it's not even funny. This feels like, you're watching those like freaking nature videos. Like, it's so relaxing, Now, once you get the hang of that and you are able to, super jump really easily, you could start chaining other movement techniques with a zipline. So I want to teach you this thing called a zipline quick interact. And basically all you're doing here is, like I said, 3 times maximum, right? So if you have a zipline like this where it's going vertical, you can super jump first, and then you could hit it again. You see that? How I zipline super jump first, and then I hit it afterwards again to get to a different position, like that. It's a little bit harder to do on controller, but it is possible. So that's kind of how they do it on PC, where they move super fast. But that's essentially how you do it if you're on controller. You just interact with the zip like that. Super jumping is the best way, so that way you can get momentum, so you can re-interact with the zip again. And then if you want, you could even chain a third one there. Remember, I told you can interact with the zip 3 times. On PC, it's going to look a lot better. It's going to look like this. Yeah, you see that? You see how fast that is? Now, all I'm doing here is essentially I'm just interacting with the zip. I'm looking backward. I'm looking forward. As soon as I look backward, I hit the zip again. And I'm basically like turning my body this way, this way, this way. You know, like forward, backward, forward again. And then you're basically scrolling down every time you do that. Now, if you're able to do that standard zipline super jump we talked about earlier, this is going to help you with this craziest movement technique called the mantle jump. Now, this is technically one of the hardest movement techniques, but if you practice that super jump like we talked about earlier, this is essentially just, you know, building off of that. So let me teach you exactly how this works. So essentially a mantle jump is you're going to interact with the zip. You're going to be in a mantle position like this. Okay. And now once you're in this position, you are going to literally back your character up and it's going to start falling. Once you get into that position where you start falling, you're going to just zipline super jump. You can only super jump, like I said, if you're touching the ground, right? Now, the reason why this works is because when you're mantling, your character is still technically on the ground. There's going to be a split-second window, which is even tighter than a Superglide, where you need to just hit the mantle, where you hit the super jump, where your character is registered like it's on the ground, and it's going to be able to hit a super jump while your character is like technically not touching the ground. It'll go like this. You put that all together, slow-mo. If you're playing on controller, this is what's going to look like, okay? Okay, see what I just did there? So slow down the video, look at the binds of what I pressed, but essentially all I'm doing is interacting with the zip. I'm going forward, I'm jumping off, getting into this mantling position, I'm backing up. As soon as I back up, I super jump and I hit my stick forward, and then I'm gonna go flying like this in this position. So try that with the controller. Now, if you're on mouse and keyboard, it's actually a little bit easier because all you're gonna do is you're gonna get in this position, right? The mantle position. You're gonna hold your E down, your interact. You're just gonna press your W. You're gonna press W, S, and then scroll down. Hold your E the whole time. Okay? W, S, scroll down, and then go back to W. See what I did there? All I did was I literally got on this zip, I held my interact button, I'm gonna press WS, scroll down. You see that? That's all I do. I'm literally on the zip, I'm in this position, I'm gonna hold E, WS, scroll down, let go of my interact, and then just hold and then just go forward. You see how simple that is? It's a little bit complicated at first because there's a lot of different buttons that you press, but get the hang of that feel and you can mantle jump really quickly before you know it. And before you know it, you can start doing this much faster, and you can start, you know, chaining different movement techniques. But try that first, slow down the video exactly at that part where I was able to, you know, hit the mantle jump, and then practice from there. Just copy all the movement techniques and just copy all the binds that I'm doing, and then just slow down and just take it step by step. That's how you can maximize and learn all these movement techniques that I've been teaching you in this video. Now in Season 23, they have this new weapon called the EPG. This is basically like a freaking rocket launcher. And it's kind of OP because you can use this to move yourself across the map. So if you literally just slide jump and shoot, see how far I get? Oh my gosh, it's... So... the reason why I want to show you this is because with Lifeline, she has a new passive with her drone where she can kind of glide. But with this, look at that. I literally just flew across the map. You do damage yourself a little bit. Now let's say you pair this up with a jump pad. Oh my gosh, it gets even crazier. Watch this. Look at that. Oh my gosh, watch. And I still have my glide across the entire freaking map, guys. In like 2 seconds, and my drone is healing me. So I know what you watch right now is absolutely insane. So I decided to make a guide on exactly how many different legends that this can help, and just how to maximize this rocket launcher to do movement with almost every different legend here. And so there's a specific guide on there on the top right here once that video is out. Okay, so click on that please, because you don't want to miss out on this while this weapon is still here. This is an insane ability where you could use this, you know, like even with super gliding. Let's say you want to super glide, watch this. See that? You could chain super glides off and you're just flying across a freaking map like a wall bounce. You know, you could start doing stuff like that. Now imagine Newcastle, watch this. literally defense. I set up just primary defense in like 2 seconds across the whole map with this weapon. We got our favorite character here, Valkyrie. Come on, look at this. Oh my gosh. Like, you land back down. Guys, this new weapon is actually insane. It's not even fair. Like, this is so strong for movement. So please check out the guide in the top right or in the comments below, because this is groundbreaking. So this guide is going to show you exactly, if you have this weapon in your hands, you are going to be the strongest character in the freaking game. It's not even funny. Like, it's so strong. So that's going to do it for this Season 23 movement guide for Apex Legends. If there's any other specific videos that you want to see, please comment that down below, and I would love to make that for you. If you did learn a thing or two, please consider leaving a like, sharing, subscribing, and also just commenting down below what your favorite part or what you learned from the video was. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and please never ever forget to take care.